Let us just imagine standing in our heart as we receive our individual message to unify feeling, images, and thoughts with who we are, as that perfect human being. It is done. All is well. So be it. I greet you again from Richmond, and it is now just raining little flurries of snow. I'm getting my experience now for a while of snow. Reverend Marcia was talking about what a beautiful day in Florida, my home. So I'll be there to enjoy the sunshine after we enjoy the snow. Thank you for showing up. My topic, unity with all life, in keeping with expanding the Christ consciousness through oneness. We continue our concept of oneness and how to achieve the state of oneness through the Christ consciousness. Remember, Dr. Holmes wrote, consciousness is an accumulation of everything we have ever felt, imagined, said, and done since we were made in the image of perfection. And we simply don't remember that. He said in his opening statement on page 96:1, remember, and I read, remember that consciousness is always a unity. We arbitrarily divide the different activities of consciousness in order that we may discuss how thought works. End of quote. In our last message to you, we used a tree as a metaphor of the life of the human being and how each leaf represents each human, and the different parts of the tree as symbolic of the use we make of the life force or energy that comes in from the root of the tree, which is our spirit. Today, to aid in understanding unity of all things or oneness with life. The first is belief. We shared briefly the role of the belief system. It takes in the development of the human being. It is the first level of individual consciousness of humans to tap into the energy of intent. So our first question to ourselves when we start a project, what is our intent? For light workers, our intent was made to expand our individual consciousness to the Christ consciousness to walk on this planet before we took on the physical form. We briefly touched upon the belief system and the part it plays in assisting us to recognize oneness with all life. With each thought, the energy of intent is the first to be released from the soul. The essence or energy that comes with such belief is an opportunity for us to transmute that energy to aliveness, being alive. For as long as we are in our beliefs or running around in the middle of belief, which is the lie, the separation, we're not thriving. We're not using the energy the soul is sending for creation. And remember, we shared our divinity is in our darkness. We shared to change our belief. We are to simply accept what we have called feelings, images, thoughts, and words in our awareness. We now expand on our second concept of unity with all life through deductive, inductive reasoning. I said earlier, I didn't say where I was, but by now you know I'm in Richmond, Virginia with my daughter, Patricia, who is moving to Marlboro Massachusetts. She engaged an expert packer, that's me, to help her in her move. As I was packing the boxes, I was contemplating what I would be talking about today, contemplating ideas of unity of all life with the basis of oneness, the state of oneness as a consciousness, and my relation to the whole. The concept of inductive and deductive reasoning came to mind, and I direct you to our textbook once again, continuing on page 96. He wrote, and I read, since inductive reasoning is an analysis and inquiry into truth, it follows that God can only reason deductively. Since God is truth, that which is infinite does not have to inquire into truth. Consequently, there can be no inductive reasoning either in the spirit or the soul of the universe. And he continues, I thought about that sentence. And so I began the process of reasoning, and my eye caught the box that I was packing. I asked myself, what makes a box a box? And that was coming from the outside in. And the thought came because I have labeled it a box because of the shape and the material from which it is made. Reverend Mazia often says, because I said so, because you say so. It's the boxing. Even though some of our features are likened into some animals, we still label ourselves as human beings. We label humans from the outside, color of skin, height and weight of the body, and the way it moves about. Further, contemplating the box has an inside and outside. Our skin covers the outside, protecting the organs, etc., the inside, who we truly are, same as humans. My next question was, what holds the body box together? And the answer, the atoms, molecules of the words energy from the nucleus or middle of the box. Same as humans, I said. The intelligence or spirit, as we call it, is in the center of each cell in our body that holds the body together. I felt pretty satisfied with myself this is the only my conscious recollection of using inductive and deductive reasoning as a tool to understand my unity with all life and my oneness with all life. I was looking at the box again, and I thought I had completed, and then I saw the writing. I said, yes, the words. The writings on the box tell us what is to expect from the box, the jar, etc. Same as humans. We can only expect what we put into our bodies through words we speak. And as I moved from the box, my eye caught the radio. Outside, inside, middle again. That which is on the inside constitutes what is outside. The mechanism made a radio, not the outside or back or front, same as humans. Are you staying with me? I then looked at the chair and using deductive reasoning, went through the same process, back, base, seat, same as I did with the box and other items in the room. I concluded the middle of all form is the intelligence, or God, or spirit. The middle is what we can consider the motor that keeps the form in motion, in movement, animated. I then moved to invisible forms that is felt or heard on the physical plane, and thought of music, for the music was playing softly. What makes music music? Have you ever considered? And the answer came: harmony, melody, and sound. You see, all actions are based upon intent, which we call choice. With choice, we develop our capacity for deductive and inductive reasoning to reach ideas of oneness and unity with all life. When we practice the deductive reasoning, the inductive reasoning, reasoning from outside to in, or beginning at the center and going out, standing in our heart, then we begin to develop that faculty for discernment, which spurs us into action, which is our third and last concept, to take action upon the contemplation, to expand them, to object what we see in front of us until the process of deductive reasoning is made real to us. When we continue to use the idea or the concept of deductive reasoning, starting from the inside out, then we develop that part of us that automatically goes when we are in a midst of making a decision. We automatically go inside before we wander out in the belief system outside of us. Acceptance is the key for transmuting the shadow energy to light. Acceptance is the key. Acceptance of feeling, images, and thoughts as part of our tools to create that consciousness of unity, to realize our unity with all life. Again, our divinity is in our darkness. In closing, when we become willing to look at our beliefs about every area in our life, analyze it by using the method of deductive reasoning, that is, to begin with who you are, the truth of being, you are perfect, whole, and complete. Tell yourself, you are perfect, whole, and complete, until the realization comes, yes, yes, I am perfect, I am whole, I am complete, I am valuable to this world, I am important to this world. I've often said to my students, I don't know what this world would be like if I were not here. You see, early in my evolution, I realized that I am important to this world, that I make up the part of the spokes of life. I'm part of the wheel. And without that spoke, me, I just don't know what this world would be like. In closing, in my early development of understanding oneness, my teacher suggested that I just say the word one. She said, say the word one until you realize it. And I didn't at that time even understand what realize was. And it was simply to make real. I was at a retreat. And I didn't know many people, so I was walking by myself. And I was saying over and over, one, one, one. And it was in a wooded area. And there was no reason for one penny to be before my eyes. And as I was walking, saying it, my intent was to realize that I was one with all life. And the universe stepped in, and there was the penny with the head turned up. One. And I looked down and I said, one. And in that moment, I began to move into the state of oneness. So we've shared over the years, just one word, one number, one idea, one concept brings you to the place where you can realize that you are one with all life. So you choose this week, one word, one letter, one concept to rise into the state of a consciousness of unity and live from that state. Let us pray as we give thanks for our individual message and our encouragement to move into that state of unity with all life, to realize that truly we are one. There is no separation, that we are alive, that we exist as human beings, as perfect human beings, whole, perfect, and complete. Until we meet again, divine presence goes before you, making your way perfectly clear. All is well. So be it. So it is. Thank you. I have a cheering section in the back of me. So now I ask you to share your ideas with me on unity with all life. Your questions. I sit as your student. Not everyone at one time.
Reverend Alma,
I'm here.
you could. I'm not sure I grasp the, the whole idea of the topic, unity with all life, where deductive reasoning is concerned. And by the way, I love the analogy, using the metaphor of the box. That was brilliant.
Can someone help her? Give us another idea. Practice, practice, practice is how we come into, or the realization of the state of oneness. Unity is simply part of the consciousness or the state of oneness. And when we realize the state of unity, we can do that through inductive, deductive reasoning. Simply by practicing, as I did with the box and with the radio and with the chair. And I went on and on for I don't know how long, looking at different objects in order to solidify in my mind the difference between separation and unity. starting from with the inside out. It's
Okay,
a
so
practice.
you mean starting looking at the box, let's say from the inside?
From the outside.
From the outside.
Yes, that's inductive reasoning. Outside in, and then I went in to the center. I went from the outside of the center, outside to the inside, which holds the box together. Now, something is always in the middle. That's where we get the concept of Trinity. Everything is made in threes. Inside, outside, and the middle. There isn't anything on the planet that doesn't have a inside, outside, backside, front side, and middle. Nothing, even a sheet of paper. And we understand that. I understand that through deductive reasoning, inductive, deductive reasoning. And I welcome, if I stand to be corrected, I welcome all ideas, opinions.
Okay. So since deductive reasoning is looking at the idea from the inside out.
Yes.
And inductive reasoning is looking at it from the outside in.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Just the opposite. That's how I understood inductive deductive reasoning. And my practice of inductive reasoning from the outside to in is how I got to the idea of how my unity with all people through the cells in my body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So just from the mere idea that everything has an inside and an outside.
And the middle.
Okay. So
that's the Trinity.
The middle, the inside, and the outside.
Yes.
And you said the middle is where the intelligence rests.
Yes, in everything. We call it the nucleus of the atom, the energy that is within the atom, which to my knowledge, science has not been able to discover, which is spirit. And the intelligence that holds it together.
I'll share with you all some straightforward, I think, definitions that might be helpful. Deductive reasoning is that process of reasoning which follows an already established premise. Inductive reasoning is an inquiry into truth, a process of analysis. God, therefore, could only reason deductively. That which is infinite does not have to inquire into the truth. It's a mind textbook.
Yes, and that's what I read in my opening statement and introducing my topic for the unity with all life through inductive deductive reasoning. Thank you, Reverend Michelle.
Always here to support.
Will you give us a page that quote is taken from again, please?
Page 96, the top of page 96, the first paragraph, second paragraph. He says there are two ways of reasoning, and then he goes to explain inductive and deductive reasoning. And that's how I understand it.
It's also 583 in the glossary.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say that particular, of all the years that I've been reading the Science of Mind text and studying the Science of Mind principles, I just grasped that concept within the last 2 to 3 months.
And what did you grasp?
Yeah, that inductive was outside reasoning, using information that was already there, that you're wanting to send that stuff. And deductive is the knowing of God's presence in you, trusting the spiritual guidance.
And that's why in the box is the intelligence.
Yes.
And that's the deductive.
Yes. Yes. And practice of it, practice is what brings us to the state of understanding of a clearer concept of how we are one with all life and one with God. And it brings us to the elements that joins us and with all life. And as I said, that I will be sharing concepts throughout the year on oneness, because our theme for Furtheraglow is
experiencing Christhood through oneness.
Yes. I picked up the last word and decided that would be my word for the year. That would be my topics would be centered around oneness throughout the year. And that was when the idea of all of us getting married this year came through. And if we're already married, which I didn't say, if you're already married, then you will go into an anniversary celebration of your oneness with all life this year. This is our year to shine.
So in realizing our oneness with all life, we should practice. I'm just trying to see if I can wrap my head around your ideas. We should practice looking at everything from the inside out.
Well,
is that what we should practice?
I started with outside in, like I did with the box. That it was just I was packing, and the idea came to me of the outside of the box, the inside of the box, and it was just a packing box. So I started with inductive reasoning, and that way that got me to deductive reasoning. That got me to the second question. Well, okay, this is a box, so what holds the box together? And that's the deductive reasoning.
Okay. Yeah, it does take you a while to get the
yes, it does.
idea.
It does. And it's taken me many years. Yes, it's taken me many years to understand the concept, because I have never, in all the years of my association with religious science, over 50 years, I have never really focused on the concept of inductive deductive reasoning, even through my teachings. Yes, I taught it, but that was then, and this is now, and now it's time for me to get the full realization, or a more complete realization, if you will.
Yeah, Reverend Alma, I also wanted to offer, it's now in public domain, a book called Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And he gives really good examples of inductive and deductive reasoning around prosperity. And there are visuals there that really help if you are a visual processor of information to see how they both work.
What's the
So
name of
it's
it?
called Born Rich. It's in a PDF format. And if you just Google it, you'll find it, and it's free.
Born with?
Rich, R-I-C-H,
Okay,
Rich.
Born Rich. Okay, good. Bob Proctor. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. So there can be no inductive reasoning in the soul of the universe because it is the creative medium, and it could reason. And if it could reason inductively, it could reject certain thoughts because it could analyze.
Yeah.
And soul or subjectivity can never reject.
Yes.
So that's part of the reading in page
Yes.
96.
Yes.
Yeah, so what it's saying, if the soul or the spirit could reason, then it would take on the inductive reasoning idea. But since it cannot, it reasons deductively only.
Yes. From the center to the whole.
From the center to the whole.
Yes.
Okay.
And the center is the spirit that we are. To move from there out.
Okay. Yeah, making sense.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. The box as a representation of a person. And in a lot of, anyway, I've been taught to go directly to the spirit of the person. And really, I need to see the box to get to the intelligence. I can't ignore the box, so
Yes.
I just see it differently. That's all I wanted to say. Reverend Alma, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. So that is a good place. I think I understand you're using a vase or the box as a tool.
Yes. Yes. For the person I see every day.
Yes.
If the box is oneness, that person is one.
Yes.
So so how do I get from the outside person to the intelligence and the oneness inside? Is that what I'm trying to do, or?
You have to open the box.
Thank you.
I think we have to look at this example as an exercise for amplification, not a literal undertaking, because I find in my own evolution that it is helpful for me to work from inside out, always. So the concept of the box, as Reverend Alma has put it forth, I'm thinking about it as an exercise in amplification of discerning
out in the box, knowing that
of discerning what is spirit, what is external, what are the external forces, what are the internal forces. However, I feel as the human being, it is helpful to work inside and work from inside rather than starting outside. We can work with outside coming in, certainly, but we don't know what's in the box until we open it. So that means opening ourselves. If we're looking at this metaphorically, that means also keeping ourselves open to expand. I mean,
I was looking at it.
I understand. And
I was
that's
looking at
fine.
it
It's
this way,
valid.
yeah.
That's what how you're looking at it is valid.
No, I'm talking about when I see you, okay? First, I see your form, and I'm saying getting to that spark within you. You know, we say, you know, you're the face of God, you know, this kind of thing. And I'm saying in reality, when I see your face, and I'm very serious, I don't see God. So is it a knowing within me that I'm seeing the face of God? That was, you know.
If you are inside, if you're working inside, yes. You may see
Inside
someone,
myself.
even if you see the homeless person on the street, dirty, looking horrible, whatever. If you can, from the inside, and I find that I have to do this from the inside, I have to transmute what I physically see that may be considered unattractive or not good. I might say there is only good here. There is only good in this person. That for me comes from inside. I'm opening the box because in the center, I'm expressing there is only good in this person. It's practice. It takes practice to do that every day. We have to, that's the work to
See,
do that.
It's a little thing, okay? You say, okay, start from the inside, but the inside starts with me. You know, you're
Correct.
saying, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. It
Yes.
starts inside of me, because when you say it's good in that person, I've skipped me. You know, I have to establish who I am before I can, okay, so that's what I was really saying, going into the box. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for that, for your participation. For it broadens whatever your question or whatever your participation is. It broadens all concepts for all on our community, and it moves out into the world when we practice. And that which Sharon said, practice is the key.
Yeah.
And even if you get it confused, and which I did for a long time, I thought inductive was from inside out, and then deductive was from outside in. And I did it for years, for a long time. But I kept at it, I kept practicing, and I came to the realization that it was just the opposite. So then I began, as Sharon said, when she sees someone on what we call a homeless person, it's only a homeless person because we have labeled that person as a homeless person. Let's go to the truth. What is the truth? God is all there is. Good is right there, right where that person is. And that is moving from the outside in. And that one affirmation expands for us to see the good in everything and everyone. And that develops our consciousness for unity. With all
And a consciousness of one.
Yes, a consciousness of one. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful, 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 deep reasoning there. Thank you so much, Sharon, Reverend Alma, Reverend Michelle, Carolyn, everyone who participated. It's a lot to chew on this week. And as Reverend Alma said, find your word and dwell on that word. So beautiful. Thank you